Gym and Kitchen. I'm your host, Shona. Gym and Kitchen is a show dedicated to educating real people on how to create a healthy lifestyle, and my job as the host is to coach and guide you past the obstacles that stand in the way of the health and fitness that you want. Gym and Kitchen covers a range of topics in the health, fitness, and wellness space, from gym strategies, great recipes, to the habits and beliefs that govern our food and fitness choices. You can find Gym and Kitchen on the web, Facebook, and Instagram at gymandkitchen.biz. Gym and Kitchen is produced bi-weekly and airs every second Thursday on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Now, here's this week's episode. Hi, and welcome to this season's first episode of Gym and Kitchen. I'm your host, Shona. Gym and Kitchen is about educating people on health and wellness. And as we move forward, part of that focus is going to be on helping people identify and remove the obstacles that are standing in the way of their best health. On a related note, what I want to talk to you today is part of the reason why you haven't heard from me much over the past little while. If you're following along on the newsletter or on Instagram, you may have noticed that things were a bit silent for a few months, even though I said it wasn't going to be after I got back from my course out east. If you've been following along a little longer, or if you know me personally, then you know that about this time last year, I had a massive family crisis happen that I had to manage almost single-handedly. And it took a number on me. I was very, very stressed. I don't think that I slept properly for about 6 months as a result. I know that in September, for about 5 weeks, I did not go 24 hours without having to speak to a medical professional or another family member about the situation that was happening. I would get calls in the middle of the night from doctors for no good reason, other than that's when the doctor thought it was a good idea to call. I would go to sleep with my heart rate high and my heart pounding, and I would wake up the same way. And none of my meditations or breathing strategies or anything like that worked to bring it down. It was extraordinarily stressful, and I have never experienced anything like it in my life. Now, here's the thing. The number of people who just said to me, "Oh, just make sure to look after yourself, dear," was astronomical. There were also a number of people who said to me, "Oh, well, I'm here if you just want to talk or if you need to vent." We'll get into those as we go along. Because here's the thing. What I was being told and suggested as advice to do all falls under self-care. Whether self-care is maybe you just need to take some time for yourself and have a bath, or go for a nice walk, sit down and read a book. Take yourself out for a cup of coffee. There is nothing wrong with any of those strategies, presuming that your body is not in crisis. But here's the thing. I was in crisis. All the walks, baths, taking myself for coffee, or anything else like that were not going to do me any good. It is not what I needed. I have a therapist, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm certain that is part of what got me through those months. But I want to talk a little bit about this whole self-care thing and this whole telling people to do self-care thing that is so prevalent in our society. It's not even offering self-care because people don't offer help. They offer advice or direction, telling people what to do without being willing to help them on that journey. Oh, dear, I think you just need to, take a little time for yourself and have a bath. Aren't you cute? Here's the thing. If you're managing a crisis, you don't have time. And I really, really mean that. A bath is not what you need in that moment. Self-care is not a survival tactic. I'm going to say that again. Self-care is not a survival tactic. And I truly was in survival mode. Nothing in any textbook, workshop, or other continuing education that I have taken in the last 20 years that I have been in the fitness industry ever talked about what to do when the body is literally just trying to survive. And I assure you that self-care is not where it starts. It might be part of it, but it's not where it starts. It starts with recognizing what is happening, not just in ourselves, but also in others, so that we can help out others who need it without asking them to make the decision around what they need. Not things like, "Oh, hey, do you just need to talk?" There is no scientific evidence that venting or catharsis is actually effective, and in fact, it's been known to make things worse and make people more angry or more stressed because they have to relive the situation when they're telling somebody about it. I said expressly to people, I don't need to talk, but I need help around the house. My husband was working out of town at the time, and I really could have used another adult in the house. But the last thing I needed was to talk about what was going on. Trust me, I talked to enough people in the medical system and my immediate family about what was going on. I did not want to talk about it beyond that. What I really needed was for somebody to come over and make me dinner so that I did not have to make the decision around what to eat, so that I could eat something healthy. I needed somebody to come over and wipe off my counter or clean my bathroom because I truly did not have the energy. Someone, well-meaning, suggested that I hire a maid service and offered to give me the number for one. But that person missed the point. I literally had no extra cognitive capacity beyond keeping the lights on in my house, feeding my cats, feeding me, barely, and managing the crisis. So how do you know that this is a situation that needs more than self-care? Check in with a few things, and in particular, the differences in those things. 1. Sleep. Is it better or worse? Have you experienced something like it before? Are you getting what looks like enough sleep on paper, but are you still waking up and feeling as if you've been hit by a bus? While there can be many reasons for changes in sleep, hormones, nutrition, or a lack thereof, or a new onset of sleep apnea, all of which should involve talking to your doctor or a sleep specialist, if you typically have consistent and decent sleep, if that suddenly changes and it correlates with a change, usually addition thereof, of stressors in your life, it's worth investigating. Correlation is not causation, however, it's a place to start. 2. Food and nutrition. Flavor and palate preferences aside, is it easy to eat in general or hard? Does the thought of something filling and nutritious or something that you normally like actually turn your stomach? Do you have a constant, hungry, pit of the stomach feeling that is not satiated when you eat? When stress levels are extremely high, the body releases cortisol, which affects digestion. So check in, see if something new is happening. And finally, 3, you feel worse after doing things you used to like or after exercise. Though many people dislike exercise in the moment, most will agree that they feel better after exercising. One of my biggest markers that something really and truly was wrong was that I would go and try to exercise, and not only did I not feel better after, but I actually felt worse. This is not normal for me, and that was a key factor in my realization that this was not a normal level of stress I was experiencing. So check in with yourself on something like that. Now, I am not a doctor, nor am I a therapist. What I want you to get out of this is an awareness of when something requires more than self-care. Self-care has a place and is absolutely important in managing day-to-day life and small stresses. But in this case, what I really needed was help. I needed someone to come over and make me dinner so that I didn't have to think about it. I needed someone to come and clean up and tidy my house and clean my bathroom because I had no energy and I was at the end of my cognitive capacity. I did have some friends who helped out with skip the dishes cards and others who helped with organization and throwing things out once I found myself with the contents of a family member's house in my house, and I am very, very grateful to them for their help. That said, I still could have used more help, and it has made me highly aware of what people need in that sort of a situation. If someone you know is going through some sort of crisis, emergency, or major life change that is consuming all of their time, cognitive function, and probably willpower, here's what you can do to help out. 1. Show up with healthy food. Please don't bring junk food. Or get them a Skip the Dishes or a DoorDash gift card or a gift card to a prepared meal service. Not the meal prep recipe in a box services, but the kind where the meal is ready to go. All they have to do is heat it up or not. Food is one of the most important things that you need in a situation like that, and it's often the first one that gets forgotten in the moment. 2. If you're in a position to show up and help around the house, laundry, sweeping, mowing the lawn, whatever, then show up and help out. Make sure it's not in the middle of the night. 3, if none of those options work, cash is still king and queen. Often people have to take unpaid time off to deal with a crisis or emergency, and the added stress of a lower income isn't going to help. Even if finances aren't an issue, an extra few bucks can go a long way in helping out with something they might not normally spend money on, but that will make their life easier in that moment. Now, I know this really wasn't a fitness video, but it's a general health matter that I feel not all people, doctors included, are aware of, and I wanted to bring it to light. Help your pals out, and make sure you know when something needs more than just self-care. I'm currently working on new coaching programs to help people get past the obstacles that are in the way of their best health and fitness. And it's my goal to set these up so that if someone does wind up in a situation like I did, that they are better equipped to handle it in the moment, because I don't want anyone to have to go through what I did. So make sure that you are subscribed not only to this channel, but also to the newsletter. The link for that will be in the description below. Remember to like this video if it resonated with you, and remember to tell a friend who would get some value from this information. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share this episode with a friend. Plus, remember to connect with Gym and Kitchen on the web, Instagram, and Facebook at gymandkitchen.biz. Newsletter subscribers also get access to the next episode in advance of the public release, as well as other goodies, such as advanced notes of courses and workshops that I'm going to put on, and articles that I've curated that I think are relevant for my audience. You can subscribe to the newsletter in the link in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.